Hello, good evening, and welcome to Geoscope with me, Graham Hughes. How you all doing this evening? I hope you're okay. It is a whopping, we just went up to 17 degrees. It's a whopping 17 degrees here in Durham. Hopefully that the temperature will rise as the show goes on, otherwise I'm going to have to get me hoodie. What's it like where you are? 29 indoors, 31 outside in Surrey. Says Richard, sorry. Daylight you have to brave the rail network yesterday. Well, they're saying don't go on the rails tomorrow if you can have it. It's gone down to 16. It's gone down to 16 here. In the massive fridge in which I live. No, I don't have air conditioning. This is just Victorian engineering. They thought they'd make our house the coldest house on earth. Which is great when it's a heat wave. It's a bit shit when it's the middle of winter. Got to say. And you just never, ever get warm. What else is happening? Ben Riddings is in there. This fucking weather. What the fuck? Indeed. Sarah's in the chat as well. Richard as well. Daylight M. I have to go to uni in Manchester. Oh, I used to go to uni in Manchester many moons ago. So old. What do we got? We got Saz in there as well. One Angry Pagan is in the chat. Hey, listen, if you'd like to join our friendly friends in the friendly chat, all you need to do is hit the friendly subscribe button and wait for approximately 1 minute. And you'll be able to join in. So let's talk about the heat. Let's talk about it. France recorded 44.3 degrees C, the hottest temperature ever recorded in France ever in June. It was 44.3 degrees C in Pissos. And then we had Bordeaux. The hottest day since national records began. Bordeaux hit 42.1 degrees C. Sébastien Lecornu said 40 people have drowned in France since the 18th of June. Many swimming in unsupervised areas to cool off. If you are on the beach and you walk into the sea, it's fine. You're going in gradually. Your body adjusts to the cold because the water is cold. Even if you're in a hot country, the water is cold. If you jump in to something that you can't, full body immersion into very cold water when you are very, very hot, it can cause cardiac arrest. Simple as that. Your body goes, what the is going on? And so please don't do that. Let yourself down gently. Like looking at yourself in the mirror and, sending yourself off to Dumpsville. Population you. You deliberately angled the clock so we can see the temperature. I'm literally sat in Satan's bedroom, says, Satan's bedroom. That sounds quite kinky. We've got 19 2 weeks and 32 2 weeks before that, but hey, nothing wrong with the weather. Yep. Exeter being central Devon, it's prone to more higher heats. 17 degrees, it's unreal. It's 27 in my room with aircon flat out. Oh, thank you. Pat, could I get some water as well? I've got no water left. Thanks. Drank all me water. It is hot here. It's just, if I go outside, it's like 30 degrees. It's just in this house. It's just built specifically as a shop back in the Victorian era. And they didn't want the goods to go off. So they just built it like literally a big brick shit house. In the Metro France, I've put 54 departments of France under red heat wave alert. France has also recorded its hottest overnight temperature since 1947. Italy has issued red alerts in 15 cities. Power outages have hit Milan and Turin because of high air conditioning demand. Spain had temperatures above 30 degrees overnight in Almeria. And more than 100 weather stations are reporting highs of over 40 degrees C. Now, our body temperature was at 37 point something. Yeah, anything over on our core normal body temperature, we need cooling down. And it can really, really mess us up if we don't take that into account. Hey, listen, now what I'm going to take into account right now is the fact that we should be setting up the confetti. I think we should be setting up the confetti, don't you? I think we should have some confetti. Do you think we should have some confetti? Yeah, confetti? Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. Right, got me water now. It's all right. Oh, there's some ice cubes in it. Love some ice cubes. Right, so let's get the confetti cannon ready. Right, I'm just prepping the confetti cannon. But yeah, let's face facts. Britain, in particular, is not built for this heat. Why does 30 degrees in another country when you're on the beach, whatever, feels okay? You can live with it. Well, it's because other countries have air conditioning. Other countries, you can go into the water, you can go into the sea and cool off. They're set up for heat. We are not. We are not in any stretch of the imagination. We do not have air conditioning units in everyone's home. And unfortunately, I think we're going to. Why is there school in June? I don't know. School goes until the third week in July. Anything over 38 degrees is considered dangerous when it comes to body temperature. Yeah. Body temperature is 98.6 degrees. Yeah, that's Fahrenheit. That's a bit of a Mickey Mouse scale, isn't it? Because they say, oh, it's Fahrenheit. It's 100 was the temperature of blood. But like it was a Mr. Fahrenheit or Mr. Fahrenheit's wife's blood or something, and it was a bit hotter than normal. Maybe she had a fever. Lidl isn't what it used to be. I went for a wetsuit but came out with a loaf of bread. Very funny. School end in May in the US. Oh. Do you know what though? Kind of makes sense. Anyway, so the Met Office has warned that temperatures in the UK can reach up to 39 degrees, maybe even more, with schools in England and Wales are closing or shortening hours. The railways have said don't travel on the railways tomorrow unless you really need to, because there is a problem with the tracks buckling. So they'll probably, if the trains are running, there'll be a slowdown just in case. This is all of our infrastructure isn't built for this kind of heat. Our roads melt, our rails buckle. Other countries, if you drive along the road in Saudi Arabia in the middle of the freaking desert, I mean, it's horrible. It's like a rubbish tip all the way along. They got all this money to build all these stupid buildings. They're building a kilometre-high building, but they couldn't be bothered getting some people just to, clear up all the used tyres that are at the side of the road all the way from Jeddah to Riyadh through the desert. But, it's dead hot, right? But they use a different mix for their tarmac, bitumen, asphalt, whatever they call it, so that it doesn't tend to soup when it's really, really hot. We don't. We have a real issue that our roads are not really built to cope with really high temperatures, really hot, sustained high temperatures. We've cut down all our trees. We've paved over everything. I was walking through Liverpool yesterday or the day before, and I was just thinking, bloody hell, they've got these pavements. They either have a road that's like way too wide, like you need a car to go that way and a car to go that way. That's about it, But they've got to be built, so you can get Sherman tank, two abreast, going down these roads. It's ridiculous. But then they have also massive pavements, and I'm like, what do you need these massive pavements for? I understand it, if it's a city centre or something, but like, out in the sticks, can you not just have a grass verge and have a small pavement? You don't need such a big pavement. Just saying. Just ficking saying. We're up to 18 degrees here, though. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, we've paved over everything. We don't have any shade when we park our cars because we cut down all the trees. And so we park in a car park for a football stadium, or to go to the supermarket, or to go to the doctors, or anything, or doctors, I guess the hospital. Your car is not in the shade, which is absolutely bonkers. Just build verandas everywhere. We used to have verandas, back in the day when the Victorians were building stuff like this house. Up to 18 degrees now. It's getting hot. It's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. When the Victorians were building stuff like this house, they were sensible about it. They said verandas outside shops. That'll be a good idea, because if they have verandas, then you won't get wet when it rains, which is us all the time in the UK, and you won't get too hot when it's sunny. You can be somewhere in the shade. Put a veranda in. The verandas are still there all over Australia. You go to Sydney, you go to Melbourne, they've got all these historic quarters. Verandas are still there. We got rid of them all here because in the 1960s, the only people allowed to build... Kids are fighting in the room. Kids allowed. Can you shut the door? Okay. I can't get that message. I think they're just playing. It's like one of those things when kids are like making loads of noise and you're like, are you having a good time or are you actually physically injured? Pagan, the primary schools around my area closed at lunchtime. The secondary schools stayed open and expected the pupils to attend in full uniform. It's been 36 degrees all sea. Oh my God, Chrissy. Oh my God, the secondary schools expected the pupils to attend in full. That's just sadistic. That's like in the olden days when they used to make all the kids go to school wearing shorts, even in the depths of winter. To be fair, we're the same latitude as Newfoundland. No wonder we aren't used to the heat. Even if it doesn't get quite as cold here due to the Atlantic Meridian, the thing, the Gulf Stream. Safe working range has to handle hot and cold year-on-year averages. Record-breaking temps exceed the design limits. Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this extreme heat could hasten the collapse of said current. Yep, that's exactly right. But you could put solar panels on them, especially over parking spots and in outdoor parking lots. Yeah, I was going to say that. Put solar panels all over the verandas. I mean, I wouldn't do that in a city centre because you want the verandas to look nice. Do you know what I mean? Come on, let's face it. Solar panels don't look that great. They just look like... But yeah, in the 1960s, they decided that there was to be no ornamentation of anything ever. Everything had to be built like a Nazi submarine base from the 1940s. Just had to be concrete and a big block, square block, no facets, no balustrades, nothing interesting, nothing to use to go, oh, that looks nice. No, it all had to be a big box, a big concrete box with flat edges, and just everything was flat and boxy and flat and boxy. And it was because at that time they decided that, computers needed when the robot overlords take over. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to do something about this. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. I was trying to ring up Kat to tell her to get the kids to simmer down a little bit, but she's not answering the phone. So, oh well. Never mind. Be interesting when the AMOC collapses, then our rails may snap due to extreme cold. Yep. I remember this time in 96 working in a busy city centre pub kitchen, working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for the whole summer season. 96, I worked at my dad's shop all summer. Me and my mate Ben worked at my dad's shop all summer to get tickets for Reading 96. This is before the Leeds Festival even existed. And we were all ready to get the tickets. We paid like £2 a day. And then at the end of the summer holidays, we finally had enough money to go and buy the tickets. At the time, they were probably about 60 quid. And we turned up at Probe Records in Liverpool. And went, can we get tickets for Reading, please? And they went, sorry, the Reading Festival is sold out. Sad. Do you want to know who played? Do you want to know who played in Reading 96? Okay. Here's the headlines, right? Rage Against the Machine. This is just on the Friday. The Proj, Offspring, Terrorvision, Weezer, Ice-T, the Butthole Surfers. On the other stage, Rocket from the Crypt, Divine Comedy, Manson were playing. On the Saturday, we had Black Grape, Garbage, Julian Cope, Dodgy, Billy Bragg, Marion, Super Fairy Animals, Moloko. Remember them? Cooler Shaker. God, they were awful. Dubstar, Northern Tupraw, Mazzy Star. Oh. If you like Rick and Morty, you probably like Mazzy Star. Catatonia, My Life Story, Screaming Trees, Placebo, Ben Folds 5, not a big fan. And who was playing on the Sunday? The Stone Roses, the fucking Stone Roses on the Sunday. Sonic Youth, Ash, Gene, Reef. I didn't really like Reef. The Wedding Present, Moby was playing. Underworld, Underworld. This is 1996. This was the year of Born Slippy. This is the year that Trainspotting came out, and Underworld were playing. Flaming Lips were oh my God, the Flaming Lips were playing. at the height of their powers. Although this is before they wrote "Do You Realise," so not quite the height of their powers, more like the Vaseline era. And yeah, oh my god. Anyway, so we worked all summer in the sweltering heat in summer of '96. You know, all summer with Des Lynam. And we finally had enough money to go to the bloody Reading Festival. It sold out. Anyway, yeah, there were people in the Daily Mail claiming this is just typical British summer weather and we should just crack on with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people. I mean, it's 19 degrees here now. It's driving me up the wall. The people on the noise of kids does not come across in the feed. Let them be, says Alan. Oh, it's all right. It's just that they were screaming. They were proper screaming. So there's part of me going, do I need to go? Do I need to go and assist? Anyways, where were we? Okay, we were talking about the the Eiffel Tower, weren't we? Well, I wasn't, but I was about to. So the Heatwave has forced an early closure of the Eiffel Tower and reduced the opening hours to the Louvre, which means that you can't get in it easily enough to rob all the stuff anymore. The historic building's not properly adapted to climate change. Have a think about this. When can you go on holiday if you've got kids in the summer? Would you like to go and see anything? No, it's closed. It's all fucking closed because it can't handle the heat. France reported disruption to railways, infrastructure. And also, let's talk about this. Nuclear power. You know how France relies on nuclear power, my friends? Yeah. There's a problem there. Hot rivers reduce cooling capacity for nuclear plants. They need cold water. The water's not that cold. They can't cool down as effectively, and they have to stop making as much power. True story. Not a great story, but a true story. Do you want to know something else about the extreme heat as well? It's not good for solar panels. That sounds mad and counterintuitive, but the best thing for solar panels to get like as efficient as possible is to have a really, really sunny, cold day. So a sunny day in winter is better in terms of energy production than a really, really hot day in summer. However, you do get more hours of sunlight in these northern latitudes than you do in the winter, obviously. So there's a bit of a, but just talking about in terms of straight up efficiency. If my solar panels that I have on the house on the island, on Ginger Island, they will not be as efficient as if I had exactly the same solar panels here in Durham. Well, not today, but on a normal day. We actually fucked ourselves over. We build cities that are giant concrete heat accumulators while worsening global warming, mostly because no politicians look at the future beyond their mandate. Yes, Yovash, I was going to talk about that. You know, let's talk about smearing oil all over the ground, tarmac, and we pave everything. We just pave everything. It means that the water can't be absorbed into the ground. And as a result of that, we have the concrete island effect. But we also have these mad floods because the water's got nowhere else to go. You look in California, they have those, you know in Terminator where they had the truck going after the motorbike, the scrambler bike, and they're going along. That's where the water comes down when they have a big storm there because it can't be absorbed into the ground. There's no trees. There's nothing. There's some palm trees. They fuck all. Everything else has just been paved over. Everything else is just solid ground. And it creates this heat dome around the city, and also the water's got nowhere to go. So it goes into these flood channels, right? And those flood channels, the speed of the water in them if they have a big storm is insane. It's like 40 miles an hour. If you get caught in one of them, you're dead. That's it. You're not coming back. You are dead. There's no two ways about it. You cannot fight against something that is moving you at 40 miles an hour. You just can't. For reference, the Paleocene, Eocene thermal maximum had our global temperatures roughly 6 to 8 degrees hotter than today. Yesterday, my mum said in the 1950s, it was a really hot day. A really hot day was 73 Fahrenheit. I had to convert that to see what it was. It was only 22 point something. Yeah. Saul Farage is writing to the Electoral Commission demanding an investigation to Hope Not Hate, posting he posts on Facebook. Just our elections depends on the rules being followed by everyone. What an arsehole. He was being interviewed today, the 10th anniversary of his fucking Brexit. And he was being asked about his £5 million. Didn't want to answer. Didn't want to answer those questions, did he? No. Anyway, where were we? So, hot weather, not good for nuclear plants. Not particularly good for wind turbines, to be honest with you. But, they're all right. Definitely not good for railways. Definitely not good for roads. Britain paid 6 times the usual rate for electricity imports during Tuesday evening's demand spike, with prices peaking at £470 per megawatt hour. Germany's electricity prices topped €545 per megawatt hour, while France rose above 268 megawatt an hour, showing how heat waves now affect heat, health, transport, culture, and energy all at once. It's a clusterfuck, which we've been warned about for 50 fucking years. There is a story that is told by the village up the river. They say, if you see a crocodile, do not put your head in the mouth of the crocodile. And now and again, who knows why, someone just puts their head in a crocodile's mouth. And it's sad. It's sad because they die. But also, it's fair enough because they were warned. They were warned. There are crocodiles. Jesus. The 1979 Charney Report, year I was born, estimated that doubling atmospheric CO2 would probably warm the planet by about 3 degrees. Exxon scientist James F. Black warned Exxon executives, Exxon executives, I guess they were called, in 1977 that CO2 from fossil fuels would warm the planet and would eventually endanger humanity. Black told Exxon in 1978 that doubling atmospheric CO2 will probably raise global temperatures for 2 to 3 degrees C, broadly in line with modern climate sensitivity estimates. Exxon's internal projections from 1977 to 2003 forecast warming of around 0.2 degrees C per decade. Almost exactly what happened. So we've known this for 50 fucking years, friends. 50 years we've known this was coming. A 2023 peer-reviewed study found 63 to 83% of ExxonMobil's climate projections accurately predicted later global warming. Big oil knew. They've known about this since the 70s. Shell's confidential report in 1988 called The Greenhouse Effect warned of changes to sea level, ocean currents, like the AMOC, rainfall, regional temperature, and weather. The problem with the sea level is not just that the Greenland is melting, the glaciers are melting, Antarctica's melting. It's also that warmer water takes up more volume than colder water. That means even if all things were equal and we didn't have the ice caps melting, we would also have a big problem with water basically taking up more space because it's warmer. The equivalent of a nuclear explosion going off every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year, of every decade, of every century since the signing of the Magna Carta. That's the amount of extra energy we have put into the system. That's the energy that we've dug out of the ground and burnt. And energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes its state. Shell also warned in 1988 that climate change could affect food supplies, living standards, and have major social, economic, and political consequences. A US congressional report in 2024 said big oil ran campaigns to confuse the public while trying to lock in, while trying to lock out the possibility of a fossil fuel, of a future that didn't rely on fossil fuel. The same investigation accused oil companies of shifting from outright denial to deception, disinformation, and doublespeak to avoid climate responsibility. The attack line on this is this is not a forecasting. This wasn't a failure of forecasting. It was a business model built on selling the cause, hiding the consequences, and making the public pay for the damage, which we all have to do. billions it's going to cost us, trillions and the oil executives are happy for this to happen. The same oil fucking slimy little bastard cunts who gave us the war on trans people that we're currently fighting. Same people, exactly the same people. And nobody needed to predict that Pissos in France would hit 44.3 degrees today. The prediction was more about the direction of travel. More fossil carbon, the higher baseline temperatures would mean more extremes of heat. And the argument that we did not know is absolute bullshit. The oil companies had internal science, governments had national assessments, and the public got decades of doubt. The Saudi Arabian motherfuckers came over in the 1990s to start with the COP summits, and they said it has to be unanimous. Anything we agree has to be unanimous. It has to be unanimous, and they just vetoed everything. If one country says, no, I don't want to do this, then we don't do it. And that's why we've had 30 fucking useless COP fucking summits. Because of Saudi motherfucking Arabia. The country that actually controls the world. All these conspiracy theorists and potheads, right, they all reckon it's the Jews that control the world. And I'm not going to say it's the Muslims that control the world, because it's not. The people of Saudi Arabia, the people running Saudi Arabia don't give a flying fuck about a farmer living in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, or some kids who are living out the sea in Indonesia. No, they don't care about that. They just care about their bottom line. They just care about money, more money, being horrible to women, killing journalists, more money. The public cost is now visible. Overheated hospitals, closed schools, strained railways, unstable power grids, higher bills. And there are still people out there who are denying climate change. And these people need arresting, I think. I think they need to be arrested and put into an asylum for fucking people who are so thick they shouldn't be allowed out in society. They shouldn't be allowed within a fucking 100 meters of the internet. Can we do that? Like we do to sex offenders, not allowed within 100 meters of a school. Can we do that to dickheads? Make it so they're not allowed within 100 meters of any internet. That'd be fucking great. Put them on a fucking island in the middle of the Pacific. No, actually don't. They might enjoy that. Put them on the island in the South Atlantic. There you go. That's much better. That's a much more better thing. Oh, we had someone timed out. Why has someone been timed out? You are living through weather, says Star Marie Mackenzie. You're living through weather. What? That doesn't even make any sense, Star Marie Mackenzie. Go back to school and this time pay attention and learn how to write a sentence. Climate change is a fucking thing. We are living through it right now, says Chris C. Absolutely. We are generating more than we need at the moment, and we are selling the excess to the continent. Okay, just checks the generation matrix. We're currently generating 53.5% of electricity from gas-powered stations. What the fuck? Well, yeah, like I say, real time. Okay. Let's have a look. 53.8% fossil fuels at the moment. We're only getting 14.1% from solar. Like I say, it gets less efficient when it gets hotter. You'd think it would be the other way around, but it's not. And we've got a tiny amount of hydroelectric. We don't really have the mountains and the rapids for hydroelectric in this country. But the wind is right down. The wind's down to 18.4% at the moment. That's because we are living under a big high, a big heat dome. But no, weather is pushed by climate. So the climate is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. What's it called? The world barcode, is it? A barcode of heat. Is it a barcode? Is that what it's called? Climate stripes. That's what I mean. Climate stripes. Let's get them up. We can do this. We can do anything. Well, there you go. That's your average heat, isn't it? Global core. There we go. So there you go. Here's our little heat map here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? There's our heat map of the last century, I think. And those those ones in blue on the left are years ago. And as you can see, the average heat is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But, you know, people don't believe that because it's scary. Yeah, I don't like things that are scary because people are fucking children. Literally, in the case of Jeffrey Donaldson or whatever the fuck his name is. People just don't want to grow up. We've got a huge problem in this country and in America and around the world with arrested development. People learn everything they need to know at the age of 7 and then decide that's it because their arrogance outweighs their intelligence. You know, when you meet someone and they're more arrogant than intelligent. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you don't meet that many people who are genuinely intelligent and arrogant. Have you noticed that? Because I think there's a certain humility that comes from like knowing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, these people don't know anything, and therefore they're scared of everything, and therefore they want reality to go away. But yes, the framing of this is that they privatise the profits, they socialise the heat deaths and the cost of upgrading our infrastructure, and then asked for subsidies to keep on fucking drilling in the North Sea. Could you believe that? Yep. Hey, listen, if you're one of these people who vote for refuck or reform or deform or restore or reclaim or whatever the fucking called these days, you're one of those. You're one of that lot. You're all for it. You're like, yeah, let's burn the world. Let's burn the world. Haven't you noticed? And here's something that's funny, isn't it? It's not funny, it's tragic, but there are people out there who are mortally worried, like afraid, like they wake up in the middle of the night, cold sweat because trans people exist. But on nights that they don't wake up because of trans people, they wake up mortally afraid, terrified at the idea that at the turn of the century, there might be more people who aren't white in Britain than are white. Okay? Are white's lemonade. Now listen, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter, right? Because they'll be dead. They'll be dead by 2100. They're not going to be around to see it. Why did they give a fuck? I don't know. Massive racists, probably. But isn't it interesting that the exact same people who go on and on and on and on about the great replacement theory or whatever bullshit they've been led to believe by some stupid meme they've seen on the internet, same people don't give a fuck about climate change. And why don't they? Because they'll be dead. So they want people on this island to be underwater or baking in the summer and freezing cold in the winter, minus 40. They're happy for that future, but they want to make sure that all those people suffering at that time are all white people. Okay, knobhead. I mean, fucking hell. These people walk amongst us. Southeast Water has introduced a hosepipe ban. I hope that extends to golf courses. Ooh, yes. I think that golf courses should just be built over. That's what we need to do. Oh, God, Trump's on the telly whinging about his reflecting pool. What a dickhead. What a dickhead. Listen, I'm not getting any super chats in, so I'm going to remove the goal. Oh, well. No confetti for us. But I'll just do it for one super chat. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about the Middle East. There is Marco Rubio at the moment is visiting the UAE, stands for the United Arab Emirates. Hello. Okay. I think everyone's going out because it's a bit hot. They're going out to get an ice cream or something. Cool. Recently spoke to someone and claimed the Bible was wrong about Christianity and they know better than it did. Probably watch Russell Brand fail to find the Bible verse he used to defend himself. Yeah. 2/3 of boomers don't care about the next generations. Yeah. They are, but they do. They want them to be white. They care about that. Cognitive dissonance, mate. Cognitive dissonance up the kazoo. And again, climate change in different directions are suspected to be the main culprit of almost all mass extinctions through Earth's history of life. Yeah. Also, if you read... have I got it here? There's a book... Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it to hand. There's a book called Collapse, which is written by Jared Diamond, who wrote Guns, Germs and Steel. And it talks about the collapse of civilizations, and every single one that he talks about, there's a factor of climate change. Collapse of the civilization in Iceland 1400 years ago, whenever it was, the collapse of the Rapa Nui society on Easter Island, the collapse of the Roman Empire, the collapse of the Mayan Empire, the collapse of the Aztec Empire, the collapse of the Inca Empire. Yes, there were other factors, but the Mayan Empire had actually collapsed before the Spanish conquistadors turned up. And they reckon a big factor on it was climate change. Boom, confetti. Oh, thank you, blah, blah, CW. I knew you'd come through for me. Thank you so much. You're the best. You're the bestest in the world. Yay! Confetti! We did it. We did it. That's quite cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. So Marco Rubio in Kuwait and Bahrain. And he's there to reassure Gulf allies that after the US-Iran 60-day ceasefire agreement, which ended yesterday or something because the Strait of Hormuz is closed again, Qatar helped mediate the deal. And if any Americans are watching this, it's Qatar. I've been there. I know. It's called Qatar. It's not called Qatar. It's not called Qatar. You know, like the Echo and the Bunnymen song. It's not called the Qatar. It's called Qatar, dickheads. Also, it's Moscow, as in go away. It's not called Moscow, you idiot. It's not Glasgow, is it? It's Glasgow, morons. Learn to fucking speak, dickheads. Grrr. Great, did I read that right? Something, honesty, thinks that the Nazis were left-wing. Yes, they do. Lots of people think the Nazis were left-wing because they had it as their name, the National Socialist Party, German Workers' Party, didn't they? And it was an abbreviation of National Socialists that made Nazi. Yeah, a bit like the name Adidas for the trainers comes from Adi, short for Adolf, who was the guy who had made the shoes. His name is like Adolf Dassler or something, and he was called Adi by his friends. So when you're running in your Adidas, you are running in your Adolfs. Quick, you forgot to take your Adolfs in for PE today. Anyway, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait fear Iran could gain money that strengthens its military. Yes, it will. It's going to be given $300 billion fucking dollars by the Americans because they're dickheads. You know, those of us who thought for a while that Americans might not be absolutely populated chock-a-block, like you can't move a minute without spitting and hitting a fucking dickhead. I mean, it really does seem to be overpopulated with dickheads, more than any other country in the world, which is quite remarkable because there's a lot of dickheads out there. Let me tell you, surrounded by idiots. Rubio and JD Vance spoke with Lebanese President Joseph Aoun about ceasefire monitoring body, and the Guardian reported that the Israeli Hezbollah conflict has killed 4,000 people. 4,000 people in Lebanon killed, and it's displaced 1.2 million people. 1.2 million. You don't see too many people running around with like Lebanon flags, do you? Anyway, blah blah CW. Boom! More confetti. Yes, you can have more confetti. If you ask for more confetti, you can have more confetti. It's all good. You can have there. So paleontology has so much evidence of climate change that I've known about it in detail since I was 8. E.g., after the meteorite struck Yucatan, it was climate change that kicked off the mass extinction, especially marine life. Yep. And the only mammals that survived was a small shrew-like creature that would eventually go on to become humans. Well, and every other mammal. But yes, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Great, now I need to get rid of my Adidas. I thought it was All Day I Dream About Spunk. No, that's actually what it stands for. But, you know, it's like Oscar Deutsche that saying our nation is what Odeon stands for, but it doesn't really. So what else have we got here? You don't have to get rid of Adidas. Don't worry, they've got nothing to do with the Nazis. It's just Addies. The Addy of Adidas is short for Adolf. And then we've got, we're talking about the EU Taliban row in Brussels. So the EU is facing criticism after holding a Taliban delegation in Brussels for the first time since the group returned to power in Afghanistan in 2021. It's not a good look. Belgium issued 5 single-day visas for the Taliban delegation, and the agenda included consular services and possible cooperation on the deportations of Afghan nationals within Europe. Yeah, not great. The EU's not been showering itself in glory the last few days, to be honest with you. Let's do this. Confetti, says Richard. Wow, we're getting the confetti super fast here. This is brilliant. More confetti. Oh, yeah, let's get the confetti out. Confetti. Show us your confetti. This is wonderful. That's three confettis there. Look at this. We're getting overloaded with confetti. I'm going to start again. The Taliban regime has banned girls from school beyond 6th grade and pushed women out of public life. Human Rights Watch, human rights groups have warned that deportations to Afghanistan could expose people to persecution, torture, and death, which is entirely true. We've talked a bit about the war in Sudan, which is going on between the government and these rebels, a rebel militia group that used to work for the government and then decided to break away from the government and do its own thing. But both the government troops and the mercenaries are running around literally just fucking killing people. Just literally killing thousands of people. Just butchering them. It's horrific. It's really, really horrific. Anyway, so Yale investigator Nathan Raymond has said that UK officials had intelligence in May 2024, so that was under the Tories, suggesting that Ethiopia and the UAE were supporting Sudan's RSF, which is the name of the rebel group. Raymond says that from the FCO or FCDO, it's the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office now, officials in the UK cited significant private pressure from the UAE as the reason the UK would not publicly reveal evidence linking the UAE to RSF support. Yale's humanitarian research lab estimated that at least 60,000 civilians were killed after the RSF captured El Fasher. And that's just one village that they took, or town. This what's this group called? The Humanitarian Research Lab, or HRL. They tracked phones that were moving between Addis Ababa and RSF-held Sudan and UAE linked addresses. And the central accusations is that Britain prioritised relations with the UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi over atrocity prevention in one of this century's worst humanitarian disasters, which should come as a surprise to nobody. Oh, we got the goal again! Yay! Loads of confetti! Woo! Four times. Once, twice, 4 times a confetti. That's kind of cool. Anyway, we've got to talk about Ukraine. Ukraine is striking back. God, Ukraine is striking back. Sorry, this is a show about what's going on in the world, so I'm just trying to tell you very quickly what's going on in the world before I hand you over to our friend Maximilian, who I hope is doing a stream tonight. Volodymyr Zelenskyy will skip the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Gdansk. They've had a bit of a fallout with old Poland. Ukraine's delegation will be instead led by their Prime Minister, Yulia Shevchenko. And the row centres on Zelenskyy naming a military unit after the Ukrainian insurgent army known as the UPA, which Poland links to the killing of up to 100,000 Poles in Volhynia in Poland from 1943 to 1945. Not cool. It's a rare misstep from Zelenskyy, but this is a big misstep as far as the Polish are concerned. Polish President Karol Nawrocki revoked Zelenskyy's Order of the White Eagle, which is the highest honor that you can be bestowed from the people of Poland. And EU spokesperson Paula Pino warned that the only beneficiary of a rupture between Poland and Ukraine would be Russia. But in slightly better news for the war ending sometime soon, I hope. The last couple of weeks, it looks like Ukraine have been absolutely monstering Russia, so much so that the Ukrainians have been following the what's it called? There's a book, isn't there, called like The Art of War or something, like an old Chinese book. You know what I mean, don't you? Is it called The Art of War, something like that? And one of the things it advises is that you should always give your enemy one clear route of escape. And so what the Ukrainians have been doing have been blowing stuff up using drones of anything coming into the Crimean Peninsula by anything coming in from the north of the peninsula, right? And there is a big fuck-off bridge which runs off from the east of the peninsula, which is shaped a bit like a sort of diamond shape. A squished diamond shape, a rhombus. Is it a rhombus? It's a bit shaped like a rhombus. And there's a bridge that the Russians built after their invasion in 2014 that links Ukraine to the Russian mainland, bypassing any part of Ukraine. And it looks like that is in the Ukrainian sites at the moment. They're telling people to leave Ukraine. They're telling Russians to leave Ukraine. So, yeah, something's gearing up there anyway. So we will see. We will see. Trump claims that yesterday 9 million barrels of oil flowed out of the Strait of Hormuz, which he calls the most oil in the history of the Strait. That is completely false, as it is normally 20 to 25. What, you're saying Trump said something that was completely false? Come on, he never does that. He never does. Come on. Be sensible. Hit the night. Woohoo! Member for 9 months. Looks to be 30 degrees for the next 5 days. Help. I'm sorry. Okay, big tip for me from traveling in hot countries. Right, first of all, wear trousers. Don't wear shorts. I know you're tempted to wear shorts. Don't wear shorts, right? It just sticks your legs together. It's no good. And you get bitten by insects. Fuck that. And you get sunburn on the back of your legs, back of your knees. Get sunburn on the back of your... That's the worst place to get sunburn. Wear yourself some bloody trousers, all right? Secondly, or loose-fitting trousers, or, you know, if you want to wear a skirt, but make sure it goes all the way down to your feet. The other thing that I would advise is if you're really, really hot, right, and you don't have any, well, first of all, don't open all your windows. If the sun is beating down on one side of your house, don't open the windows on that side because you're just going to be letting in more warm air. Make sure you close the curtains. But top tip from me, if you're really hot and you're in bed and you can't sleep because it's too hot, what you want, just have a sheet to take your duvet out of the thing and just have the sheet, the duvet goes in or whatever. But what you want to do, well, what I do, is I go and have a cold shower, cool down, so nice and cold, right? And then I get, and then I leave myself wet. I don't dry off, right? And then I go, I have a shower with my clothes on. So with my t-shirt and underwear on, have a shower, right? So my t-shirt's all wet, and then go and lay a towel or a couple of towels down on the bed, and then lie there in your wet clothes, and that'll keep your skin cold. Well, that happens to me. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. I'm just telling you what I do. You might find that's the worst thing ever. But usually if I'm in a very hot country, that's what I will often do. Get a wet flannel, cold flannel, and put that on my head. I talked to my wife into having a veranda on the back of our house, arguing it will give us shade in the sun and dry on the decking. It's a Facebook market deal. I've laid the base slabs. Lol. Excellent. I'm really enjoying a nice cup of tea at the moment. Isn't that weird? It's only 25 degrees where I am, says Graham Price. Well, I'm having a nice cup of coffee. Don't take your shirt off either. You'll be peeling your back for days. Oh, yeah. Yes. Don't ever take your top off. Not in this heat. You will. It's radiation from the sun. I don't want to have to explain this because I know I'll get told off in the chat for not talking about the correct fucking form of fucking radiation. I don't care. Does it come from the sun? Is it radioactive? Yeah. Does it give you cancer? Yeah. Okay. It's radiation. It's all the same to me. Yeah, but it's a different form of radiation, actually, Graham. I don't care. Right? We need to get the message out. This is the problem on the left, right? We try and overcomplicate everything because we want everything to be exactly right, and we miss the bigger picture because people don't like being corrected. They don't like to get down into the details. They want to just say what. So the sun is radioactive, like the exposed core, the reactor core of Chernobyl is radioactive. Yes. Just say yes. Please don't put in the chat that it's not quite the same type of radiation. Yes, I know. But the effect. Cancer, death, same. Okay? People aren't scientists. They don't know. You start trying to explain stuff to them in the intimate detail. That's why I just say the Gulf Stream rather than AMOC. Because they just don't know what you're talking about. And you know what? It's a fucking emergency, you know? And if you want to put on your dating profile that you're really pedantic and you like to correct people, you can. But I mean, for me, that would be the same as holding a fish. Yeah, swiping left on that motherfucker. Just saying. Why do men hold fishes on dating profiles? It's really weird. Dating apps. Hey, look, it's me holding a fish. What? Why? I don't know. I just thought that women would really like to see a big fish. They're just going to look at that and think that you're going to smell a fish. Why would they want that? Keep curtains drawn on south-facing windows. Keep windows closed during the heat wave there. Loose clothing. Use a wet face cloth to wet face and sit in front of a fan. Yeah, fans are always good. Graham, I'm too hot and bothered to argue with you about radiation. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you, son. Sorry, Chris. It's the Gulf of Mexico. Just realised that one of my pictures is me holding a fish. Don't do it like that. Daylight M. Do you know what? Top tip for dating profiles, right? And this worked for me. when I was dating on dating profiles, dating apps. Don't choose your own pictures. Get one of your mates, preferably one of your friends who's the opposite sex, to pick the pictures, or the same sex if you're gay, or whatever. But someone who can say, no, this is a good picture of you, because we're really bad at judging which pictures of us are good pictures. True story. True story. If God wants us to have free energy, they'll have put a big nuclear fusion reactor in the sky. Yeah, exactly. Apparently, when Chris Tarrant's wife divorced him, one of the reasons was because he used to go fishing and come home stinking and then refused to shower. Oh. Yeah, I would be running, I tell you, to the divorce court. Okay, so Germany, the retirement age in Germany has been pushed back to towards 70. Chancellor Friedrich Merz has backed proposals to raise Germany's retirement age gradually to about 70 by the early 2090s. The expert commission wants the retirement age linked to life expectancy, as it used to be, and the plan would scrap early retirement at 63 after 45 years of work. Compulsory pension contributions would expand to civil servants and self-employed workers. Critics say the reforms will punish people in physically demanding jobs, including builders and carers. Do you know what? I mean, if they were pushing up to 90, then I could understand. It's going up to 70. And let's be realistic, people are living longer. Back when the bloody old age pension came in, the average life expectancy was fucking 69. It was 69. I mean, it's like you retired and you died the next year. So, nowadays people are living into the 90s, into the hundreds, especially the boomers, even though it is weird that because they're full of fucking nicotine smoke and radiation and asbestos and lead. And here's some quick stories from around the world. Greenland, wildfires have broken out in Greenland, and alarming scientists because fires that far north are incredibly rare. And if they do happen, they usually happen later in summer. A health minister in Kenya has halted work on a US-run Ebola quarantine facility after being held in contempt of court. In Chile, former Pinochet agents Pedro Espinosa, Jose Zahra, and Raul Iturriaga were sentenced over the 1976 Washington, D.C. car bomb murder of Ronni Karpen Moffitt. Meanwhile, in Ecuador, campaigners have said that anti-corruption activist Monica Silva Consusek was murdered after investigating allegations around the president's family business. The president of Ecuador is particularly fucking shady, all part of the clan in charge of the United States of America and Argentina and now Colombia. In Venezuela, Guardian is reporting raises questions about the US-linked strike on Tren de Agua leader Hector Guerrero Flores and possible links to mining interests. So that's the mystery of this hit on the Tren de Agua leader, and whether that is linked to US mining plans in Venezuela. We might all see. We will see. What else have we got here? My mum's auntie and uncle retired 20 years ago on final salary pensions, new cars every year, and 5 to 6 holidays. They do volunteer for the NHS and take fruit and veg around for hospital staff. I know, but think about the fact that they're getting a full pension, even though they clearly don't need it. They're getting a full pension. And at the same time, 2/3 of the people in that age group vote consistently to stop anyone else getting benefits. And whenever they talk about benefits on the TV, they never mention that over 50% of benefits are pensions. We need to means test pensions. We just need to do it. End of. You poor fan smiles on my face with that reaction. Oh, hey! Thank you, Chris. Was that a nuclear energy pun? What else have we got here? They're on about 80k. Fucking hell. I'll make about £15,000 a year. Jesus Christ. Oh, stop. I'm in the wrong fucking business. I love a heat wave, to be honest. It's bothering me a little this year because upset my ancient dog, but I'm generally happy, lol. I do prefer being too warm than too cold, generally speaking. I do thrive in hot environments. I've lived in Australia, I've lived in Panama, you know, I don't know. Take it all in me stride, you know. But the country is not set up for it. That is the big problem with which we face right now. Honestly speaking, as someone who uses dating apps, I wouldn't suggest them. Not that they're bad or anything. It's just a bit like finding a popularity contest on dating apps. Yeah. But it's so difficult to meet people these days because we just don't. It's just the way that society has gone in the last 15 years. It's all moved more and more online, and, you know, with all of the shit that's come with it. Catching up, what Ukraine have done is create a set of bridges that are so busted you can walk over them. But if you drove, you go through them. Same with the Kersh Bridge, too damaged for arms. That's pretty smart. Oh, but by the way, you heard Elon lost $550 billion, but he's still a fucking trillionaire. Yeah, the shares in SpaceX had a big slump today and went down to $150 around there, which is, I think, a little bit less than they started at. So yeah, that's not great. I much prefer the cold to the heat. I put it down to the fact that I've been an amateur astronomer for 40 odd years. Yeah, fair enough. And obviously in a cold winter's night, you can see a lot clearer than you can on a hot summer's night. My uncle retired at 59. I was minted till he died at 78 and then left the house worth over $1 million to my aunt. He was only a BT engineer. I don't begrudge it, but it makes Graham's point. Yeah. A BT engineer. BT pension was great until the 90s. Yeah. I'll tell you, when I came over here with one of the refugee families that I brought over from Ukraine, the mum of the family was really surprised when we stopped off at the services at how new the cars that old people. It was one of the first things she noticed coming into the country. She's never been to Britain before. The first thing she noticed is, how come there's so many old people with brand new cars? And I was like, well, we just say, right, that's it. You only need to work for 40 years and then you stop work and then we'll give you fuckloads of money. But we won't do it to future generations. And also, it's so fucking hot now. My air fry stopped working and had an error due to it overheating. Air fryers are pretty shit. They can't keep up with a conventional oven, which is what an air fryer is, a small countertop conventional oven. An air fryer is a hairdryer. It's used as a hairdryer because it's just like, you know, when you have a hairdryer and you just blow hot air on your head. That's what it is. It's just hot air, isn't it? It's a hairdryer. But they thought, we can't call it a hairdryer because you don't want to think about hair in your food. So we'll call it an air fryer because it sounds a lot like hairdryer, but it's a completely different thing. Yes. Okay, so at 9 o'clock tonight, the Round Ball Earth Cup competition is continuing with England playing a team, which may or may not be Ghana. You know, Ghana, it's a lovely country. Great food. Oh my God. The best. In West Africa, for my money, the best food, Ghana. The best pastries is that there's a little patisserie in Cameroon, the capital of Cameroon, Yaoundé. There is a fucking fantastic patisserie. If you're ever in Yaoundé, let me know. I'm just marveling at the moment. I'm going to do a video about this. These are my cards from my friend Matt. So when I went around the world to every country in the world, right? I didn't necessarily go to every part of the world. I didn't go to every island in the world. And he goes to these islands to troll me. This is the most. Come on, this is going above and beyond the level of normal trolling. But he sends me stuff like this from Stanley in the Falkland Islands. He sent me this from, where's this from? This is from Saint-Pierre and Miquelon off the coast of Canada. He sent me this from Pitcairn Island, and the text on it just says, "Arg." Then he sent me this from the Cook Islands here. I tried to find a postcard with a freighter ship for you, but all they had was this stupid canoe. That's what he's written on that one. That's from Yemen. That's from Namibia. I've been there. He sent me this one from Cape Verde, where I got put in jail. He wrote, "Graham, I hope this postcard brings back fond memory of your time in Cape Verde. Happy Christmas." That's very nice. This one's from Hawaii. It says, "Graham, sending you postcards from islands you haven't been to will never get old for me. Love, Matt." So nice. And then there's Mayotte there. "Graham, your endless bitching about Comoros did not adequately prepare me for what a shithole Mayotte is." So Mayotte is the fourth Comoros island, but it's part of France, and I didn't go there. Tahiti. There's a Tahiti. It says, Graham, I'd rather be in Syria. This is the Azores here, San Miguel. And he's written, Graham, there are 9 islands here in the Azores. You should visit one sometime. And this is my Bougainville Island. So next year, we're hoping to go to Bougainville because when it becomes the first nation in the world. And he's written, Graham, I can't wait until this independence referendum passes. You'll have to restart the Odyssey to visit here. And I will be heckling you all the way. Love, Matt. So there you go. You think you've got trolls? I've got the best troll. I have the best troll in the world. That is going the extra mile just to troll someone about all the places around the world that I haven't been. Anyway, breaking news. Several gas-powered power stations have declared they are reducing outputs as the turbines are struggling with the heat. My God. So it's even affecting the gas-powered power stations and the nuclear power stations and the solar output and the wind turbines. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to hand you over to our wonderful friend, wonderful friend. Oh, hello. What's happened here? Something's happened. They've changed the setup. What is even happening here? They've changed the setup of the thing. Have they put allow embedding? Oh my God. I don't know how to do it. It's not allowing me to redirect you over to Maximilian's stream. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Why is it doing this? You absolute bastard. Why is it? Oh my God, this is like the worst thing. How do you want to go live? Thumbnail, audience, pay promotion, AI use. No, I don't want AI use. Automatic chapters, automatic content. Recording dates, comments and rate. Oh my God. All right, so what I'm going to do, friends, is I'm going to send you over to, I'm going to just put the link in the chat, all right? Jesus Christ. That is painful. That's disgraceful, isn't it? They've just changed something on YouTube to take away the ability to redirect to other people's stuff. I don't know why it's done that. I'm just going to refresh in case it was a problem that didn't load up properly or something. The buffering gods are displeased. It must be the heat. Maybe it's the heat has taken my redirect ability away. You know what? YouTube isn't loading up. I think the internet's down. I think we're all done for. The internet's gone, everyone. The internet is on fire. Edit setting. No, it just says details and customization. Oh my God. What the everlasting. Max's stream froze at the same time. Yeah, it's not that Max's stream isn't coming up. It's that I can't even look. There we go. Starmer out and the in. Hey, as the actress said to the bishop. Buffering. It's all that radiation. Must be. Oh yes, we dropped 180 frames. 180. Okay, so I'm just going to close Robespierre there because I don't want to make things too slow for us. But yeah, I will add this to the chat. I think the system is struggling. I think so too. So I'm going to go. The football starts at 9 o'clock if you want to watch that, and we'll discuss it in the morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, but in the morning, not in the evening, obviously, because it's the morning. It's got Morning Brew, and it's got me. Hello, and I'll be on for that. And then we're going to have a very, very interesting Prime Minister's Questions at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Don't know what the fuck is going to happen there. Sounds really interesting to me. So yeah, if you want to follow the link that I've put onto the channel, I will pin it to the messages there. You'll be able to go over and see what Max has to say. Will you please say hello from me? Give him my love and affection, as always. And talking of love and affection, thank you very much for watching this evening. A bit of a quick roundup there of what's happening around the world. It's fucking hot. And big shout out to everyone who dropped in a super chat there and allowed the confetti cannon to be fired off. And until we meet again, I'll just say thank you for watching. Give us a like. My like button isn't working. Why isn't my like button working? Jesus. I'm having one of those days today. I think everything's gone horribly wrong. This isn't going to be worth it. I mean, you know, to do all this. Right. Okay. Right. Where is it? Subscribe. There you go. Subscribe animation. That's what it's called. Go back to Geoscope. Right now. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Give us a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, if you're watching this on catch up, and if you want to know when we are going live, hit the bell notification icon and you'll get a buzz in your pocket to let you know. Anyway, say hello to Max for me. See you tomorrow morning. Until then, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.